when Hailey Bieber showed her love and support for Justin Bieber's brand new album Swag Tie by posting screenshots of herself listening to tracks like Bad Honey Love Song, I Do, and more. The internet quickly filled with admiration not only for the music, but also for the powerful image of partnership that the two have built together, because it reminded fans that behind every superstar, there are personal relationships that anchor them and give them strength. And in this case, Justin's journey from teen sensation to global superstar has always been defined not just by his music, but by the people who stood by him through highs and lows. And now with Swag Tie I arriving just months after his previous record Swag, it feels like a testament to his creativity drive and willingness to open his heart through music. And the fact that he directly references his relationship with Hailey adds an intimate layer that fans deeply connect with, because they know that the songs are not just melodies, but reflections of love, growth, and resilience. And this ability to merge personal experiences with universal emotions is what has made Justin such a lasting figure in the world of celebrity, where authenticity is often the greatest currency. And speaking of authenticity, we see a similar thread in Selena Gomez, whose own journey from Disney Channel beginnings to global stardom in music and film has been marked by vulnerability, resilience, and an openness about her struggles. Whether it was her candid conversations about mental health or the strength she displayed while navigating public relationships, including her history with Justin, her story resonates because it shows that even in the spotlight, people face challenges that mirror those of ordinary lives, and fans connect because they see strength, not perfection. And that same sense of connection is what fuels the careers of stars like Ariana Grande, who after facing unimaginable tragedy during her Manchester concert turned her pain into anthems of empowerment and healing. And whether it is in her powerhouse vocals or her playful fashion, she consistently demonstrates how music can both entertain and mend hearts. And when we think of celebrities who reinvent themselves, again and again, one of the clearest examples is Taylor Swift, whose shift from country prodigy to pop powerhouse to indie folk storyteller reflects her fearless creativity and business savvy, and her ability to turn personal narratives into universal hits like Love Story, Shake It Off, and Cardigan shows the magic of blending vulnerability with relatability, which makes her one of the most celebrated artists of our time. And then there is Rihanna, whose evolution from a teenage star in Barbados to a music legend, and then a global fashion and beauty mogul, is nothing short of inspiring, because she represents how fame can be used not only for entertainment, but for empire building and philanthropy. Her Fenty beauty brand changed the industry by prioritizing inclusivity, and she continues to balance artistry with entrepreneurship, showing new generations that the definition of celebrity success goes far beyond the stage. And similar to Rihanna is Beyoncé, who has crafted a legacy that blends music, performance, activism, and cultural influence into a force unmatched. Her visual albums like Lemonade were not only artistic triumphs, but cultural events that sparked global conversations about identity, empowerment, and resilience. And her philanthropy work, particularly through the Bay Good Foundation, shows how stars often dedicate their platforms to causes that reach far beyond themselves. And this theme of using fame to spark positive change is mirrored by Lady Gaga, whose artistry has never been confined to one box, because from her bold early performances to her stripped-back role in A Star Is Born, she has always pushed boundaries and encouraged her fans to embrace their true selves, while also becoming a champion for LGBTQ rights and mental health advocacy, proving that music can be a lifeline as well as entertainment. And then we look at Miley Cyrus, whose fearless evolution from Hannah Montana to a bold solo artist continues to fascinate fans. Her resilience after personal struggles and reinvention through hits like Wrecking Ball and Flowers remind us that growth and authenticity always shine through, and fans admire her courage in living life unapologetically. And if we shift to the world of K-pop, we see groups like BTS and Blackpink taking global stardom to unprecedented heights, because they not only deliver music and visuals at the highest level, but also bring messages of self-love, perseverance, and unity that transcend language barriers. And their philanthropic work, from donations to social campaigns, highlights how modern celebrities see their role as cultural leaders as much as entertainers, and the fandoms they inspire show the deep bond between stars and fans in today's connected world. And speaking of fan connections, Justin Bieber himself is known for always taking time to thank his believers who stood by him through ups and downs, proving that fan relationships are the lifeblood of any lasting career. And this pattern of comeback and reinvention is also seen in stars like Robert Downey Jr., whose rise from personal struggles to his role as Iron Man in the Marvel Cinematic Universe is one of the most beloved comeback stories in Hollywood history. His transformation, from troubled times to becoming a symbol of heroism, both on-screen and off, reflects the resilience that fans admire in their idols. And another moving example is the late Chadwick Boseman, whose portrayal of Black Panther was not just a role, but a cultural milestone that empowered millions, and whose quiet battle with illness revealed the depth of his strength, humility, and legacy. Reminding us that celebrity impact often goes far beyond fame. It becomes part of history. And as we move across industries, we see figures like Shakira, who has balanced a career filled with global hits with dedicated philanthropic efforts through her Barefoot Foundation, providing education to children in need, or Angelina Jolie, who transformed from Hollywood star into one of the most recognizable humanitarian voices in the world, advocating for refugees and human rights. And these examples show us that the most inspiring celebrities are those who merge talent with compassion, reminding their fans that fame is not just about spotlight, but about service and inspiration. And in sports, we see the same patterns with stars like Serena Williams, whose dominance on the tennis court redefined what excellence looks like in athletics, while her advocacy for women and mothers continues to inspire change beyond the court, or Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi, who with their decades of dedication created legacies that extend far beyond soccer, representing hard work, determination, and global unity. And back in Hollywood, we look at Zendaya, whose rise from Disney star to critically acclaimed actress, fashion icon, and role model is a story of grace, authenticity, and vision. Her ability to remain grounded while influencing millions proves that celebrity power, when handled with humility, can be transformational for culture and future generations. And in the same way, Timothée Chalamet, with his sensitivity, depth, and artistry, carved out a space as one of the most exciting actors of his generation, proving that young talent can reshape cinema and redefine how fans view their idols. And when we reflect on celebrities whose careers are defined by reinvention, Madonna stands as one of the ultimate icons. Her decades-long ability to reshape her image, sound, and influence ensured her place as the queen of pop. She demonstrated that resilience and adaptability are at the heart of lasting stardom, and her advocacy for LGBTQ rights and women's empowerment proved that celebrities can turn music into movements. And another figure who mirrors this reinvention is Katy Perry, whose journey from gospel singer to global pop phenomenon with hits like Roar and Firework reflects determination and creativity. And her role as a judge on American Idol shows how stars can guide the next generation while continuing their own journeys. And Britney Spears, whose career has been filled with both triumphs and struggles, reminds us that celebrities are human, and their paths are often complex. Her resilience and recent legal battles sparked global conversations about autonomy and mental health, creating an enduring legacy, not just in music, but also in cultural dialogue. And similar conversations emerged around Keisha, who, after legal struggles with her former producer, emerged with music that celebrated freedom, strength, and healing, reminding fans that authenticity always resonates in the end. And then we see Pink, whose career of high-energy performances, powerful vocals, and fearless personality has made her one of the most admired performers in pop. She combines artistry with vulnerability, speaking openly about motherhood, relationships, and challenges in a way that connects deeply with audiences. And when we cross into the rock world, we find legends like Freddie Mercury of Queen, whose artistry, individuality, and performances remain timeless. His story reminds us that true stardom is measured not only by fame, but by the way an artist inspires courage and authenticity in others. And today, that spirit is carried on by artists like Adam Lambert, who with Queen continues to honor Mercury's legacy while forging his own path of self-expression and creativity. And when we look at contemporary rock, Coldplay has become one of the most influential bands, blending uplifting messages with global activism. Their work with sustainability campaigns and benefit concerts highlights how musicians can use global reach to inspire action on pressing issues. And similarly, Imagine Dragons, with their anthems about resilience and empowerment, became a voice for fans who needed light during dark times, showing once again how music and celebrity culture can provide hope beyond entertainment. And in the hip-hop world, Kendrick Lamar stands out as an artist whose storytelling not only entertains, but educates. His Pulitzer prize-winning album Damn and his performances at major events like the Super Bowl halftime show elevated him to cultural commentator status, reminding fans that artistry can spark conversations about society, justice, and identity. And J. Cole similarly, blends fame with wisdom by staying grounded and addressing meaningful topics in his music, while building a career admired for integrity and authenticity. And in the same space, Nicki Minaj carved her name as one of the most successful female rappers of all time, combining charisma, bold fashion, and boundary-breaking verses. She became both an entertainer and a trailblazer, paving the way for many who followed. And Cardi B, whose journey from social media personality to Grammy award-winning rapper, reflects the power of determination and authenticity. Her candid personality endeared her to millions, proving that relatability and hard work can create massive success. And Megan Thee Stallion, whose empowering anthems and resilience after personal challenges made her a role model for strength and independence, continues to redefine what it means to be a star in modern hip-hop. And then we return to the lasting influence of Drake, whose cultural dominance continues year after year, showing how consistency and evolution ensure longevity, and his collaborations across genres show how stars today thrive by breaking boundaries rather than staying confined to one style. And if we move to cinema, we cannot ignore Leonardo DiCaprio, whose career from child actor to Oscar-winning environmental activist reflects both artistic dedication and global responsibility. His performances in Titanic, Inception, and The Revenant are matched by his advocacy for climate change through the Leonardo DiCaprio Foundation, demonstrating how celebrity platforms can amplify urgent causes. And another acting legend, Meryl Streep, continues to embody excellence through her endless range of roles. Her career serves as a blueprint for aspiring actors, reminding us that dedication to craft and integrity in choices create legacies that transcend time. And Denzel Washington, already celebrated, continues to inspire, not only through acting, but through mentorship of younger actors. His words about faith, discipline, and resilience became motivational lessons for generations. And Tom Cruise, with his relentless commitment to delivering high-energy performances and blockbuster hits like the Mission Impossible franchise, demonstrates the value of discipline, dedication, and reinvention in sustaining stardom for decades. And in parallel, Sandra Bullock built a career of versatility and resilience, balancing comedy, drama, and action, while also dedicating herself to philanthropy, particularly in disaster relief efforts. And Angelina Jolie remains not only one of Hollywood's most recognized stars, but also a symbol of humanitarian advocacy. Her work with refugees and the United Nations shows that celebrity platforms can save lives and influence policy, reminding us that stardom carries responsibility. And another figure whose career embodies reinvention is Matthew McConaughey, whose shift from romantic comedies to Oscar-winning roles like Dallas Buyers Club demonstrates that perseverance and risk-taking can redefine a career path. And his later move into teaching and public service shows how celebrities often evolve into new roles of influence. And then we have Keanu Reeves, beloved not just for roles in The Matrix and John Wick, but for his humility, kindness, and quiet philanthropy, which earned him the reputation of one of the kindest stars in Hollywood, proving that the measure of celebrity is often found in how one treats others, and fans are equally inspired by Tom Hanks, whose decades of excellence combined with a reputation for integrity made him one of the most trusted figures in entertainment. His willingness to portray both everyday heroes and complex characters reflects his versatility and humanity. And as we broaden our lens to sports, we find inspirational figures like Michael Jordan, whose career defined basketball greatness, but whose legacy continues through philanthropy and mentoring of younger athletes, and Kobe Bryant, whose life and untimely passing left a legacy of excellence, work ethic, and inspiration, not just in sports, but in storytelling through his writing and films. And in soccer, Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi remain two of the greatest athletes in history. Their decades of excellence, resilience, and philanthropic work highlight how sports celebrities inspire unity across nations and cultures. And when we reflect on female athletes, Serena Williams and Venus Williams together represent trailblazers who broke barriers in tennis, empowering generations to follow their dreams. And more recently, Naomi Osaka and Simone Biles became role models by prioritizing mental health while still achieving greatness, showing fans worldwide that strength is found in honesty and balance. And then when we turn back to the modern wave of celebrities, we cannot miss Zendaya, who balances acting, music, and fashion, while serving as a role model for grace, humility, and authenticity. Her performances in Euphoria and Spider-Man made her a global star, and her influence on fashion proves how celebrities can set trends while inspiring individuality. And Timothée Chalamet continues to rise as one of the most exciting talents of his generation with roles in Call Me By Your Name Done in Little Women, his artistry, sensitivity, and charisma connect deeply with audiences who see him as a fresh voice in cinema, and Billie Eilish, whose haunting voice, originality, and authenticity transformed music at such a young age, continues to inspire millions with her willingness to address climate change, individuality, and mental health. And Lizzo, whose unapologetic energy and advocacy for body positivity changed the way pop culture views beauty and confidence, proving that joy and authenticity are revolutionary in their own right. And as we think again of Hailey Bieber, showing her unwavering support for Justin Bieber's Swag I album by proudly sharing her favorite tracks like Bad Honey Love Song and I Do, we are reminded of how relationships often serve as a steady foundation in the whirlwind world of fame, because Justin's career has always been a story of transformation, from the young boy discovered on YouTube to an international superstar, and now a mature artist whose music openly reflects love, faith, and growth. And Hailey's visible encouragement illustrates that behind every celebrity headline lies a personal life filled with connections that ground them. And in many ways, this mirrors how other stars have relied on personal support to navigate their paths, like Selena Gomez, who has often credited her close friendships and family for keeping her steady amid the pressures of fame. While her journey from Disney to music to launching Rare Beauty embodies how stars can turn vulnerability into empowerment and entrepreneurship. And we also see Ariana Grande, who leaned on her inner circle after the tragedy of the Manchester concert while turning grief into music that uplifted millions, proving that resilience can become a source of healing for both the artist and their audience. And this theme of leaning on love and support extends to power couples like Beyoncé and Jay-Z, who despite public challenges used their music to address and transform personal struggles into art that connected deeply with fans while building philanthropic projects that shaped communities. And their example demonstrates that when celebrity couples embrace honesty and growth, they become not just entertainers, but role models for resilience and partnership. And similar inspiration comes from Chrissy Teigen and John Legend, who openly share both their joys and struggles with fans while using their platforms for social good. Their transparency endears them to millions who see in them a reflection of authentic family life, even under the spotlight. And in the same way, David and Victoria Beckham built a global legacy by balancing careers in sports fashion and music with family life, showing how celebrity partnerships can transcend industries and last through decades of evolution. And when we move to another facet of celebrity culture, we see how stars shape fashion as much as they shape music or film, with Hailey herself becoming a recognized style icon through her streetwear chic looks that inspire trends, and Zendaya, who consistently turns red carpet appearances into statements of individuality, creativity, and empowerment, collaborating with designers to highlight inclusivity and fresh perspectives, and Lady Gaga, whose bold avant-garde style choices created cultural moments that redefined boundaries between fashion and performance art, showing fans that clothing is another way of telling a story. And Rihanna, who not only influenced fashion through her personal looks, but transformed the entire industry with Savage X Fenty, shows that fashion and celebrity are inseparable forces capable of inspiring movements of confidence and inclusivity. And this dynamic is also reflected in Kylie Jenner, whose beauty empire turned her into one of the youngest billionaires, demonstrating the immense influence celebrities can have on industries when combined with entrepreneurial vision. And similarly, Kim Kardashian, who leveraged her fame into a powerful business career with Skims, as her activism in criminal justice reform highlights how modern stars are redefining what it means to be a celebrity in the 21st century by blending entertainment with entrepreneurship and advocacy. And beyond fashion, celebrities continue to inspire through charitable work like Angelina Jolie, whose tireless advocacy for refugees reminds us that influence can be directed toward global good, or Shakira, whose Barefoot Foundation built schools in Colombia, giving thousands of children access to education, or Leonardo DiCaprio, who devoted his platform to climate change, turning fame into activism and making documentaries that educated millions about the planet's future, and Oprah Winfrey, whose life story from hardship to becoming a media empire and philanthropist continues to serve as one of the most powerful examples of turning fame into force for good. Her School for Girls in South Africa and countless other initiatives demonstrate how influence can transform lives across continents. And likewise, Ellen DeGeneres at her peak became a symbol of generosity and kindness, inspiring fans to embrace joy and acceptance while supporting numerous charities. And though her career had its safe controversies, the legacy of giving remains impactful. And what ties all these stories together is the ability of celebrities to connect with fans on a personal level, whether through philanthropy, fashion, or raw artistry. For example, Justin Bieber himself often pauses concerts to share words of encouragement, reminding fans that they are valued and loved, transforming shows into more than entertainment but experiences of connection and healing. And this is mirrored by artists like Taylor Swift, who carefully nurtures her bond with Swifties through secret sessions, hidden messages, and personal acknowledgements, making fans feel like friends rather than just an audience, and BTS, whose constant engagement with their ARMY fan base through live streams, heartfelt speeches, and music that addresses self-love and perseverance makes their connection one of the strongest in the world. And Blackpink, who interact with Blinks worldwide, creating a global sisterhood of inspiration and support that transcends language barriers. And then we look at the legacy of stars like Michael Jackson, who, despite the complexities of his story, remains one of the most influential figures in music history. His artistry changed the landscape of pop music, dance, and visual storytelling, leaving a legacy that countless stars continue to draw from. And Whitney Houston, whose powerful voice inspired generations, continues to live on in the voices of today's singers who credit her as their ultimate inspiration. And Mariah Carey, who built a career of unparalleled vocal range, timeless hits, and resilience through personal struggles, continues to inspire, especially with her transition into the Christmas season queen that unites families every year. And Celine Dion, whose decades of performances and unmatched vocals, coupled with her grace and perseverance in the face of personal losses, made her one of the most beloved stars in the world. And in the Latin music scene, figures like Bad Bunny continue to rise as cultural game changers, breaking streaming records while using their voices to advocate for equality, representation, and social justice, proving that modern celebrities are as much about vision and activism as they are about entertainment. And J Balvin, with his global collaborations, represents how Latin music evolved into a worldwide phenomenon, while he also speaks openly about mental health, reminding fans that vulnerability is a form of strength. And Rosalia, whose unique fusion of flamenco and pop created a new global soundscape, became a cultural ambassador for Spanish music and artistry, showing how local traditions can evolve into global trends. And similarly, artists like Burna Boy and Wizkid elevated Afrobeats to international recognition, using their platforms not only to entertain, but to celebrate and uplift African culture, reminding fans worldwide of the richness of diversity and the universality of rhythm. And as these stars rise globally, they continue to inspire new generations, proving that the celebrity story is not just one of fame, but of resilience, identity, and cultural pride. And whether it is Hailey Bieber supporting Justin's latest music, or Zendaya inspiring through fashion, or Leonardo DiCaprio raising awareness for the planet, the common thread remains that celebrities, when true to themselves and their purpose, leave a lasting imprint on culture, hearts, and history. And as we continue this journey into the world of celebrities, it becomes clear that each story, though unique, is connected by a thread of resilience, creativity, and influence that stretches across generations and cultures. Because whether it is Justin Bieber sharing his heart through Swag Eye with Hailey Bieber, celebrating his music on Instagram, or Taylor Swift transforming personal stories into universal anthems, or Leonardo DiCaprio raising awareness for climate change, what defines celebrity is not only talent, but the ability to reach people on an emotional level. And when we think about emotional connection, Adele immediately comes to mind. Her career built on soulful ballads like Hello, and Someone Like You reveals vulnerability and power at once. She showed fans that heartbreak and healing are experiences that unite us. And her honesty about motherhood, body image, and personal growth only deepened the admiration people feel for her. And then we move to Ed Sheeran, whose journey from street performer to global star illustrates that humble beginnings can lead to extraordinary success. His songwriting resonates because it feels both intimate and universal, and his collaborations across genres from pop to hip-hop show that versatility is a hallmark of lasting stardom. And we cannot forget Sam Smith, whose artistry and courage to live authentically while addressing themes of love and identity in their music has inspired fans worldwide, proving that representation in music matters and continues to change lives. And in the same way, Harry Styles built his career by evolving from one direction to a solo icon, celebrated not only for his music, but also for his fearless approach to fashion and individuality, reminding the world that confidence in being yourself is the ultimate trend. And his ability to blend classic influences with modern pop sounds makes his artistry both nostalgic and fresh, while connecting deeply with fans across generations. And another star who exemplifies connection is Shawn Mendes, whose gentle charisma, honest lyrics, and dedication to causes like mental health awareness made him one of the most relatable figures in music today. And his openness about anxiety showed fans that vulnerability is not weakness but a step toward healing and growth. And Camila Cabello, who like Sean transitioned from group stardom in Fifth Harmony to solo success, illustrated how determination, risk-taking, and embracing cultural heritage can shape an artist's identity in the spotlight. And similarly, Demi Lovato continues to inspire with their powerful voice and raw honesty about personal struggles and recovery, showing fans the importance of resilience, authenticity, and self-love. And Miley Cyrus, whose career spans from Disney child star to bold reinventions through music style and performance, embodies fearlessness and transformation, while her philanthropy and advocacy for LGBTQ rights highlight how influence can be channeled for good. And then when we think of artists who shaped entire eras, we recall Elton John, whose decades of brilliance, flamboyant style, and philanthropy for HIV/AIDS awareness turned him into one of the most celebrated and impactful musicians in history, and Paul McCartney, whose career with the Beatles and beyond shaped modern music, forever continues to perform, reminding fans of the timeless nature of artistry and connection. And another legend, Stevie Wonder, showed through his music and activism that creativity paired with compassion can create a lifelong legacy, inspiring generations not only musically, but socially. And if we step into film once more, we see how celebrities like Robert Downey Jr. transform their careers through resilience. His comeback from personal struggles to becoming Iron Man, and a symbol of redemption, proves that it is never too late to turn a story around and inspire millions. And Hugh Jackman, whose portrayal of Wolverine spanned nearly 2 decades, demonstrated commitment, versatility, and humility, while his musical theater performances highlighted his range and love for the craft. And Gal Gadot, who rose to fame as Wonder Woman, became a global symbol of strength, empowerment, and representation, inspiring young girls to see themselves as heroes on and off screen. And Scarlett Johansson, whose career choices in both independent films and blockbusters showcased versatility, while her advocacy for gender equality kept her influence far-reaching. And Margot Robbie, who transformed from breakout star in The Wolf of Wall Street to powerhouse actress and producer through roles like Harley Quinn and projects under her production company, showed how stars can take control of their careers and open doors for others. And Lupita Nyong'o, whose Oscar-winning performance in 12 Years a Slave and later roles in Black Panther and Us established her as a force in Hollywood, while her advocacy for representation, diversity, and women's rights expanded her legacy beyond film. And Viola Davis, another powerhouse, continues to inspire as one of the most acclaimed actresses of her generation, using her voice and roles to break barriers and amplify underrepresented stories. And when we move to comedy and television, Ellen Pompeo with Grey's Anatomy created one of the most enduring roles on television, while using her platform to speak about pay equity and industry change. And Mindy Kaling, whose success as a writer, producer, and actress illustrates how breaking boundaries with creativity and humor can inspire new generations of storytellers. And Issa Rae, whose journey from YouTube creator to award-winning actress and producer highlights the power of self-made artistry and authenticity in reshaping media representation and shifting again to global music. We cannot overlook K-pop as a cultural movement, with groups like BTS and Blackpink at the forefront, inspiring millions not only with performances but with their messages of self-love and empowerment. And EXO, Twice, Stray Kids, and aespa continuing to expand Korean music's reach worldwide, proving that celebrity power is no longer limited by borders or languages. And in Latin music, Karol G continues to dominate as one of the most influential female artists, blending reggaeton with global pop appeal, while her unapologetic personality and empowerment themes inspire fans. And Anitta from Brazil, who rose from local performances to international collaborations, represents how determination, vision, and cultural pride create global stars. And in Africa, Teams became one of the most exciting new voices, her collaborations and solo work showcasing the richness of Afro beats and R&B, while her artistry inspires pride and possibility across the continent. And in Nigeria, Burna Boy continues to elevate African music onto the world stage with powerful performances and bold messages about identity, resilience, and global unity. And as we expand to sports again, we see figures like LeBron James, whose career achievements are matched by his activism and philanthropy, especially his I Promise School, which demonstrates how celebrity platforms can directly uplift communities. And Serena Williams, who remains a global icon not only for her record-breaking tennis career, but also for her influence on fashion entrepreneurship and advocacy for women and mothers in sports. And Cristiano Ronaldo, whose longevity, dedication, and fitness continue to inspire athletes worldwide, while his philanthropic efforts remind us that greatness extends off the field. And Lionel Messi, whose move to Inter Miami brought new attention to soccer in the United States, reflects how legacy and love for the sport can transcend borders and inspire new generations. And when we turn again to activism, we see Malala Yousafzai. Though not a celebrity in the entertainment sense, she became a global figure inspiring millions with her courage, education, advocacy, and grace. Her story intersects with celebrity culture because of the way her influence resonates through media, inspiring stars and fans alike to act for change. And Greta Thunberg, whose climate advocacy at such a young age made her a household name, globally shows that celebrity influence is no longer restricted to entertainers, but to anyone with a voice, a vision, and courage to act. And together, these examples show us that the world of celebrities is much more than glitz and glamour. It is a mosaic of human stories, triumphs, failures, comebacks, and commitments to inspire, where fans look not just for entertainment, but for guidance, connection, and hope. And when Hailey Bieber shares Justin's songs with the world, it may look like a simple gesture on social media. But in the bigger picture, it symbolizes the profound bond between celebrity artistry and fan connection, reminding us once again that behind every headline, behind every album release, and behind every red carpet moment lies a journey of humanity, resilience, and inspiration that will continue to shape our culture for generations to come.